And we're back with another episode of What's Hockey. So far, one series has ended and the Edmonton Oilers have progressed to the conference finals, three more to be decided. But before we jump into that, we're going to go around that hockey. Keaton, there have been some hirings, I believe. What's going on?
Yeah, it looks like we've got some awkward news for Ducks fans as Joel Quenneville has been hired to replace Greg Cronin as the head coach. Hasn't been a part of any NHL franchise since 21, as the then Panther had to resign, or rather he just did so anyway, the day after he was named an independent investigation into the Blackhawks for allegations of sexual assault. Pretty good. You guys got a great guy. So hopefully he's moves past it. I mean, he's gotten hired, so I mean, that's a good step forward, I guess. But he's got to get his head in the game. They're at the bottom of the league. I did see they had some promising stretches, here in the middle of the season or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man. He's got to pull that team up from its bootstraps, man.
Yeah, well, and I know that Ducks fans kind of considered a little surprised that Cronin was let go, being that they improved by more than 20 points from season to season. But them going towards Quenneville lets me know they're going for that more veteran presence. I know he's a three-time Stanley Cup champion, I believe, but of course that was more than a decade ago. But they're going for the resume, going for someone established right there. As far as those allegations, but I think it was another person in the organization who was accused of it, but he's overseeing it. So he's Joe Paterno, I guess, in that case. But that's a rough one.
Pretty cool, dog.
Yeah, man.
But we've got another little bit of awkward news as Adam Foote gets the hire for Vancouver. The Canucks now have a head coach to replace Rick Tocchet. He's been an assistant head coach for Vancouver for the past 3 years and has been a former defenseman, so he'll probably shore up or focus on their defense. But his son apparently is on trial or has been charged with sexual assault. So that's pretty great. Man. Doing some good background checks on head coaches. I think
to become a head coach, you must have at least one allegation, whether that's you or the people around you. No,
you can't stop doing the sexual assault. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, man.
I'm not famous, so I can't do it. So anyway, Rick Tocchet is now headed to Philly.
What's his case?
Replaced. What?
What's his case?
I don't know, man. Apparently the grass is greener in Philly. I wouldn't say that. You don't have Quinn Hughes on your team in Philly. But I don't know. He's a solid head coach. And I mean, he turned that Canucks organization around, at least for that time he was there. Did pretty well.
He won Coach of the Year. Was that 2 seasons ago or last season?
Last year. Yeah, and Philly seems to have some solid youngsters in Mitchov and Kaplan, but we'll see what happens over this.
It does sound like the locker room is less of a dumpster fire than the one that existed in Vancouver.
Oh, for sure.
So
I mean, it's probably a lot more cohesive.
Yeah, I mean, the stress of your job, now you can actually just focus on the game of hockey rather than team cohesion.
You don't have to babysit people. Yeah,
so exactly.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But moving on, we've got Ken Holland going to LA Kings to replace their GM. I forgot who it was, but they got fired. So he is now replacing that guy, and Ken Holland did not get renewed for Edmonton. So ultimately, he's moving on, and the Kings want someone that apparently ruined their years. The past 5 attempts to go into the second round, 4 most recently in a row. Hopefully they inevitably meet in the next year, and have that 5th year again, and hopefully the Kings turn it around. Who knows?
Oh, I'd love for this story to continue.
Yeah, be pretty crazy. Quite the rivalry, I'd say. But yeah, moving on, we got an injury. He has been progressing a little bit, but Anthony Stolarz, I believe it was the first or second game, I can't remember, but he took a puck to the dome and just rattled his consciousness, I guess. I don't know, man. That dude got a concussion. Dude was throwing up on the sideline. A lot of people like to speculate that Sam Bennett did come in because he didn't exit the game immediately after that puck, but Sam Bennett did kind of just like shove into him. And a lot of people speculate that his elbow hit his head, but I don't know, man. I've seen a bunch of replays and it doesn't really look malicious at the very least. It doesn't look like 100-mile-an-hour puck would do any kind of damage compared to that elbow kind of thing. It doesn't make any sense. So that puck definitely rattled something, and it just took a little bit of time for him to actually realize it because his mask flew off right after that puck hit his face. So I don't know, man. Joseph Wall did step in, and up until the last game, he was pretty good. So, stepping in, stepping up. So not too bad, but who knows if Stolarz will get the go-ahead for the next game. I don't know. Like I said, he's been progressing and has been skating, but who knows if he's quite there because concussions can be a little iffy.
Yeah. So, I know we've talked about it in the past, too. I mean, like, we've compared it to football where some concussions have kept players out for 2 weeks of action. Since like the incident occurred.
Term too.
Yeah, so I'm not a doctor to begin with, but especially when it comes to head injuries, you can't speculate with that. I feel like in the past, when we were growing up, if someone got a concussion, they're back on the field in 10 minutes or on the ice, let's say.
Or just like, hush, hush, don't say anything about it. Just keep, I don't know.
Yeah, but now it's completely different, man. It's a tough one to gauge. But Wall hasn't been too bad. It's really unfortunate that the last 3 games they've played, Florida has won 2 against Wall, right? Or has it been 3? It was game 1 or 2.
It was game 1 when
game
Stolarz
1 is when he got hurt. Yeah, that's right. Sure. That's right. Yeah, it's just a tough
Wall
stretch.
Played well. I think what was that? Was it overtime in game 2? I can't remember.
Overtime was game 3.
Okay. But yeah, Brad Marchand ruining Toronto's hopes yet again. The classic rat. I did actually hear, I think the commentators for the game last night was talking about how a rat actually came into the stadium and one of the players hit it with a puck, and that's why they throw rubber rats on the ice when they win. And they have that rat association, I guess. But yeah, pretty crazy. I mean, pretty stellar aim if I'm being honest, because, you got to hit that sucker. What if it moves, But hey.
It probably will move.
Anyway, they have seemed to, I guess, moving on, just getting into the playoff talk. But Florida's been crazy. The last 3 games just completely dominating after that overtime win. Especially last night, winning 6-1. It almost looked like Bobrovsky was going to get that shutout, but I think it was like 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the game when they finally scored. But yeah, pretty bad. And it was just a bunch of, miscues, and it didn't really look like Toronto had their head in the game. A lot of turnovers. I think there was one, I think it was the first goal, that had like 7 Toronto turnovers, both by the time they actually scored the
Jesus
goal.
Christ.
And it was just right in front of the net too, because it's just like, dude, all you need to do is get it out, and they just kept getting turnover, shot attempt, goal. Oh, cool, dude. So yeah, Ball has been playing okay, but you can't really help it if no one else is helping you. So,
dude, yeah, what are you supposed to do where 2 games and your combined score after 2 games is you scored once? You can't win with that, especially this deep into the playoffs. 1 goal in 6 periods. It is nowhere near enough. It didn't matter if it was Wall or Stolarz in the net at that point. They do give up a lot of goals in those 2 games where you lose 6-1, I think it was, and the game before was 2-0, so not a bad one for them there. But
the huge topic has been Mitch Marner, Matthew Nyes, all those players just haven't been doing it. I think Nylander's been the only one that's been producing on the ice. I don't know, man. That defense doesn't look good. Everyone looks just apathetic, absolutely just in tune. I don't know, man. They don't look like the hockey team that beat the Senators last round.
But it is what we kind of expected them to look like at this point.
I mean, I expected them to do that in the first round, but I mean, they seem to have some sense of a motivation. They had, oh, look, we're winning. We've got this. It's the Battle of Ontario, that kind of thing. I guess they just don't have that motivation now. And then with Brad Marchand's overtime win, they just kind of felt like a completely different team. I don't know.
They've lost. I don't think momentum's the right word there.
Florida in this sixth game, so I mean, it looks like the Panthers are probably going to just sweep that up in the 4 straight wins.
I mean, they definitely should. I think with Toronto, man, it's like those first 2 games of the series, they gave it their all. And yeah, I think you pointed out rightly, after Marchand made that OT goal, since then, there's been a complete flip in what they're able to produce, what the Panthers have been shutting down.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw those memes where it's just the Spider-Man memes where it's them pointing at each other, and it's just every single year for the Leafs, and there's like 6 or 7 Spider-Mans or whatever. So it's just pretty ridiculous. And I mean, Brad Marchand may not be with Boston, but he's still in your division, and he's still ruining your hopes and dreams.
Yes.
Sucks to suck, I guess.
It does suck to suck.
Hopefully they do push it to 7 games and go back to Toronto. But I don't know, man. Like I said, they look like a completely different team. Just totally befuddled everything. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Just not likely. Who knows if they turn it around? But Craig Berube does not look, pleased. It doesn't look happy.
No,
every single time, I don't know, they pan to him after everything pretty much, and he's just shaking his head, can't believe it.
Yeah.
Unimpressed. I mean, you can't really be, but.
No, I mean, you got to be low-key pissed right now. I think it's especially frustrating, too, knowing that outside of one game where Florida did score 2 goals, every other game they've scored 4, 5, 6. And so you have no offense going into your next game. Florida is just putting pucks in the net at will. I mean, that's...
They're just beating the brakes off of Toronto.
Man, yeah. It's not looking good for Toronto at all, man. Not at all.
I bet Paul Bissonnette's pretty upset as well.
That's your boy.
Yeah, dog. He's an idiot, dog. They always pan to him for I think it's ESPN or TNT, whatever it is. It's like, hey, busy bets. What do we still need to happen? Everything. What's happened already? Nothing.
Well, that feels
he's like 3-9 or something crazy.
Good God.
So he's pretty bad.
I understand that pain after last week's prize picks, and we'll get to that later on. But yeah, but let's continue with the playoffs. We could stay in the Eastern Conference and look at.
I was going to say with Mark Stone's injury, but it doesn't really matter. He's out of there.
Yeah, Vegas gone, Stone hurt, good karma. Thank God it exists. All right, Eastern Conference.
Advanced, though.
Washington and Carolina. Keaton, what are your takeaways from this series thus far?
Carolina has looked like a good opponent for the Panthers in this next round. The Capitals just look totally different. I mean, they don't quite have their edge. I think nothing really is working for them, and I think Carolina has them stumped. So, yeah, I don't know. They've got answers for everything that the Capitals have, and the Capitals just can't seem to work around it. And I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is specifically. I haven't been watching too much of it, but I can see that, honestly, all the Capital players have just been pissed every time they go in and out of shifts. And they're frustrated they can't get anything done. I totally understand it, but they've got their number. So I think the Canes are going to move on, and it could potentially be a cup matchup.
Dude, I think And similar to you, like I haven't watched every game of the series, but I'll catch some highlights and of course look up some stats and stuff. And I just now realized, because obviously highlights don't tell the whole story. In every single game except for game one, Washington's put up 21 shots on goal, which obviously not a lot. In game one, they put up 14. So I mean, Carolina, I think Carolina's offense gets a lot of credit, but it does. I think their defense needs to be, complemented a little more. I think the Capitals too. Throughout the season, they looked like this unstoppable machine, and I really feel like they kind of remind me of Winnipeg right now. And we'll talk Winnipeg and Dallas in a second. But in that, you're going to win. Or have the most points in your conference for sure. Although did Toronto finish with more? I'm an idiot.
No.
Yeah, they did not.
It was Washington.
Okay. Yeah, no, but Washington just felt like we know they're good. We don't have to think about it or like look too much into it. And then the playoffs come around, they get hit in the mouth by Carolina. And then when you actually look at them under a microscope, the team is not as complete as we once thought they were. I think Carolina, I mentioned that, everyone knows their offense, of course. They've got my old guy Stankoven over there, but Seth Jarvis is there, of course. I think Washington came into the series a little overrated, and I think Carolina is better than what we expected. Both you and I took Washington to win this series. And I think Washington has shown nothing in their past 5 games to say that they could to win. They can't win 3 games or 2 games in the series, let alone 4. Credit to Carolina, man, for sure.
Yeah, and they are currently up 3-1. I think they play tonight, so Carolina could just completely eliminate the Capitals, and probably what will happen, to be honest. I don't know exactly. I think they're in Carolina for Game 5. So, they'll be in
Washington.
No, they're in Carolina. They're in Washington. I read that wrong. They're in
Washington, Carolina, then Washington, Carolina, Washington.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Moving over to the Western Conference, similar to the Carolina-Washington series, it's a 3-1 series. The team with 1 win will be the home team in tonight's game, trying to avoid elimination. The Dallas Stars, Keaton, since we last recorded, they've played 4 games, which is it's a lot to recap. But what you need to know, Miro Heiskanen is back. He is playing on limited minutes. If your nationality, yes. If your nationality is Finnish, you're going off in this series, 100%. Mikael Granlund in Finnish. The nationality?
Like you finished dinner?
Okay. Mikael Granlund in Game 4 puts up a hat trick, which was stupendous. Yeah. Well, the first one
Dallas has had 3 hat tricks in this series. Just the playoffs in general. But
because one of them was in Colorado, and then Game 1 of Winnipeg, I believe it was Game 1, was when Mikko Rantanen went ahead and put up a hat trick in 1 period again, which is outrageous, man. Yeah, my goodness. Game 2 for the Stars, they did lose 4-0. I didn't want to say we right there for a second. I don't know why. We lost 4-0 to Winnipeg. I don't know, man. I don't know what happened there, but we went ahead and lost Game 2. That is a massive blemish, of course, on the series. But that being said, games
outside of that
1, 3, 5, or 1, 3, and 4, I feel like the Stars have dominated throughout the game. There are points. To me,
I feel like the Jets have played a little bit better, but nothing has just gone their way, and
I think what happens is in the middle of games, the Stars will have droughts where they can't get shots on net, and it feels like the ice has tilted the other direction. I mean, Winnipeg is still not a pushover. I think Hellebuck is just having a really, really rough series. But if it weren't for Otter the last 2 games,
Light's too bright, man.
But if Otter wasn't standing on his head last game, it's a 2-2 series. So as much as I want to be overly confident and say we're going to go ahead and finish it tonight, I do think the Jets have one more home stand in them, and then we'll go ahead and close it in game 6. But yeah, I think you said it best last episode and the episode before that when you said the winner of Dallas and Colorado is going to come out of the West. And after that series and seeing what Dallas is doing against Winnipeg, I think nothing could be more true. Edmonton did get by Vegas, and the winner of this series would go ahead and take on Edmonton. But I don't see Edmonton better than Winnipeg, but they're about the same. Yeah, I just think that Dallas is too good of a team. They don't have a goaltender,
essentially.
Yeah,
although they've got everything but a goaltender.
Skinner's last 2 games were really good,
well, man. His last game, but
yeah, you have to give him some credit for that.
He's trash, though.
Okay, he's playing better than Hellebuck, though, and Hellebuck's about to win 2 awards.
Yeah, that's his 3rd Vezina.
Yeah, but yeah. Quick summation. Miro back, and the Finnish Mafia knows what the hell they're doing. Jesus Christ. They're unreal. So, yeah, they should close the series. I, of course, hope for tonight, closing in Winnipeg. But like I said, I think Winnipeg gets one more win, and we close it out in Dallas on Saturday and move on to take on Edmonton. I'm predicting Dallas, Edmonton, and Carolina, Florida. I assume you're picking the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's logical. Do you have a way too early champion between those 4? Because our champions are out. We picked Colorado and Tampa at the beginning of this tournament.
I don't know, man. It'll be an interesting. It doesn't look as clear cut as it once was. Because I thought, honestly, the Panthers would have just completely swept them. But I don't know, man. Probably just say the Panthers run it back to back just to say.
I think that's fair, man. I think my favorite right now, it's either Florida or Dallas. Those would be the 2 I have going into the championship. And I think Florida's been unreal, man. I'd probably pick Florida in a tough series. But, yeah.
Because they just beat you until you just can't do anything anymore. And it just seems like they've completely ruined any sort of motivation that Toronto had coming into the series anyway.
No, I mean, you're showered with rats at the end of every game. It's just demoralizing.
And then they start shooting the rats at Brad Marchand at the end of the game, too.
Good grief. Well, Keaton, we did pick some games last week. And you had a pretty solid performance, if I'm being honest. You went 3-1. On the other hand,
if it weren't for those Dallas Stars,
that is true. That was your 1L. I went 1-3 because I'm a man of habit, and I habitually pick the wrong team. And I'm going to go ahead and do it some more right now. We're going to go ahead and start with tonight's games, Keaton. The Hurricanes are traveling to the nation's capital, taking on DC, where Washington is a +1.5. Who are you taking there?
I think Carolina will go past that +1.5 and just finish it up.
All right. I'm going to take the Capitals +1.5. They might lose by 1, but still cover their line. The Stars and the Jets will be in Winnipeg. The Jets at home are a -1.5. Who are you taking there?
I'm going to roll with the Stars. If they do end up losing, it'll probably be by a very small margin. I don't expect them to get shut out 4-0 like they did before in Game 2.
Yeah, 2
They're
goals is a
different
lot.
team since that, too.
I'll say Winnipeg gets a dumb empty netter to make it 2. Yeah, Winnipeg -1.5. I don't know. I don't like that pick. The Maple Leafs and the Panthers will be in Florida.
What'd you pick?
The Florida Panthers are a -1.5 at home. Who are you taking there, Keaton?
I'm gonna roll with the Panthers. They're just gonna completely shut them down. I don't expect Toronto to score much.
And I will concur with you. I don't know what the hell is happening with Toronto, but they look crazy.
A few fans
broken.
throwing jerseys on the ice
Oh,
in the middle of the
yes,
game.
they did.
I also
Yes.
saw a few videos of burnt Mitch Marner jerseys. So, Mitch Marner, you're going to be an unrestricted free agent this coming off season, and you look like shit. So, hopefully, a team will play ball with you. So who knows? Hopefully, it's not the Red Wings.
Yes, very, very rough. Keaton, we make some prize picks every week. Last week, my bet hoed. Both players decided to hoe and went 0 for 2, which is really good. And I'm proud of them for that. This week, I'm going to go ahead and flip it, though. It's a 3-man, and this is goins to hit. It is Wyatt Johnson to get over 0.5 points. Gabriel Velarde to get over 1.5 shots on goal. And Mikhail Granlund to get over 0.5 shots on goal. Count it, bank it, it's money.
Nice, dude. Well, I actually did make money on mine because Sam Bennett had more than 3.5 hits, and Austin Matthews had more than 3.5 shots on goal, and he didn't score. So,
Nice.
2 weeks in a row I've hit, and we're going to make it a third with an incredible pick with Brandon Duhaime on the over of hits, 3. He's got to get 4 or more. And William Carrier, who knows? 3.5 hits. Them boys be hitting, so I expect it to be a pretty physical game, and they should cover those bets.
Yes, and of course, friendly reminder: as confident as we are in our picks, not financial advice. Keaton, I think that is going to wrap up this episode. Is there something I'm forgetting?
No, I think we've got some stellar hockey coming up. Not too much as of late, so it'll be a shorter episode and probably shorter here on out, at least until the end of the finals. But we'll catch you later, and hope you guys have a good one.
For sure. Y'all take it easy. Peace.